In the history of Major League Baseball, there have been only 6 pitchers ever to throw at least 500 innings with an adjusted ERA over 145 at age 35 or older. 4 of those 6 pitchers are Hall of Famers or will be a first ballot inductee. They are Mariano Rivera, Hoyt Wilhelm, Lefty Grove, and Justin Verlander. One of the 2 not in the Hall of Fame is Spud Chandler, a pitcher with amazing stats. He's someone that certainly could have been inducted into Cooperstown if not for the fact he made his big league debut only months prior to his 30th birthday. With more playing time, there's no doubt he would have been a Hall of Famer. Lastly, that second pitcher not in the Hall and just the 6th ever to achieve this feat is Darren Oliver. Darren Oliver legitimately had one of the greatest spans by any pitcher ever at an age where everyone else is on the decline, if not already out of the league. I'll go into detail later about Oliver's exact stats during that historic span, but what you first must realize is Oliver's performance absolutely came out of nowhere. It makes sense that the other 5 pitchers are on this list. 500 innings with an adjusted ERA over 145 is incredibly difficult to accomplish at age 35 and beyond. Naturally, only some of the best pitchers ever would be able to achieve that. The 5 mentioned are among some of the greatest of all time, but Darren Oliver is the odd man out. In fact, he went from a failing starter to completely out of baseball before coming back and making history. Who is this player? And how did he turn around his career from a struggling starting pitcher to an elite reliever? Darren Oliver was a pitcher who played in Major League Baseball for 20 seasons from 1993 to 2013. He played for 9 teams, but spent the most time with the Texas Rangers. During his long career, Oliver appeared in over 750 games while starting over 200 and throwing nearly 2,000 innings. He holds a lifetime record of 118 for 98, while recording an ERA of 4.51, adjusted ERA of 104, a whip of 1.439, struck out 5.9 batters per 9 innings, and earned 22.2 WAR. On the surface, it appears as if Oliver had, more or less, an average, unassuming career. A 4.5 ERA and roughly 100 adjusted ERA are nothing notable for sure, but his overall stats are misleading to just how great he was. In his first 4 seasons from 1994 to 1997, Oliver had an ERA of 4.29 and an adjusted ERA of 116 across nearly 500 innings. He was also super consistent, having a near identical adjusted ERA in each of the latter 3 seasons. Oliver was one of the reasons Texas reached the playoffs for the first time in 1996, and he had the honor of starring Game 3 of the American League Division Series, the first ever Rangers home playoff game. He threw 8 strong innings, allowing only 6 hits and 3 runs, but took the loss as the Yankees rallied off him and the bullpen to win in the 9th. After a poor start to the 1998 season, boasting an ERA over 6.5, the Rangers sent him to the St. Louis Cardinals at the trade deadline. In 1.5 seasons in St. Louis, Oliver pitched decently, having an ERA of 4.26 and an adjusted ERA of 106 across over 250 innings. His most famous moment as a Cardinal was being the winning pitcher in the same game where Mark McGwire hit his 61st home run of the season, tying Roger Maris's home run record. In the offseason following 1999, he signed a 3-year, $19 million contract to return back to the Texas Rangers. At the time of the signing, Darren Oliver was a good, but not great pitcher. Entering 2000, he threw over 830 innings, having an ERA of 4.55, adjusted ERA of 106, a whip of 1.510, struck out 5.6 batters per 9 innings, and earned 10.1 WAR. To sum up his career so far, Oliver was a durable pitcher with a high floor but a low ceiling. He wouldn't post a Cy Young caliber year, but he was dependable, giving a team many innings at the cost of being around an average pitcher. Of course, that all changed almost overnight, as he suffered from shoulder injuries and struggled in his second stint in Texas. In the following 2 seasons, Oliver threw only 262 innings across 49 starts, achieving an ERA of 6.60 and an adjusted ERA of 73. He was traded to the Boston Red Sox after the 2001 season and was eventually released by Boston in July of 2002 after 14 games. He would bounce back in 2003 after signing with the Colorado Rockies. In over 180 innings across 32 starts, Oliver won 13 games with an ERA of 5.04 and an adjusted ERA of 99. It was also this season where Oliver hit his only big league home run, and we're lucky enough to have footage of it. However, 2003 would be the final season Oliver saw success as a starting pitcher. The Rockies opted not to bring him back for 2004, and he instead signed with the Florida Marlins. Just like with the Red Sox, he got off to a dreadful start to the season and was let go from the team in July. He joined the Houston Astros bullpen after his departure from Florida, but only threw 14 innings for the club before they let him walk in free agency after the season. Following 2004, it looked like that would be the end for Darren Oliver's career. He appeared in spring training with Colorado in 2005, but was released before the season started. He signed a minor league deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks and later Chicago Cubs, but was released from both teams by the end of May after posting a disastrous 9.38 ERA in 7 minor league starts. After his release from Chicago, Oliver opted to retire from Major League Baseball. Yes, he actually did retire, as an article from August of 2005 states how he retired earlier that year. It's not difficult to see why Oliver decided to step away, as over the past 5 seasons, he only managed to throw 573 innings while having an ERA of 5.83 and an adjusted ERA of 82. Not to mention, he was getting up in age, turning 35 years old in October 2005. Despite all of that, as portrayed at the beginning of the video, turning 35 was the beginning of a new era for Darren Oliver. According to a Sports Illustrated article, during the 2005 winter meetings in December, Oliver's agent took him out for a drink where they met with 2 executives from the New York Mets. New York needed a left-handed pitcher for the bullpen, and Oliver agreed to a minor league deal. During spring training in 2006, Oliver impressed the Mets so much that they promoted him to the big league roster ahead of the season, beginning his new role as a permanent relief pitcher. In his first season in over a decade pitching out of the bullpen, Oliver flourished in New York. In 45 games and 81 innings pitched, he recorded an ERA of 3.44, adjusted ERA of 127, a whip of 1.123, struck out 6.7 batters per 9 innings, and earned 1.2 WAR. In the offseason, Oliver signed with the Los Angeles Angels and pitched with them from 2007 to 2009. During those 3 years in LA, he threw over 200 innings, earning an ERA of 3.10 with an adjusted ERA of 144. Oliver also appeared in 11 postseason games for the Angels, throwing 10 2/3 innings with an ERA of 4.22. Don't let that ERA fool you though, as Oliver was absolutely clutch in the playoffs for the Angels, especially in 2009. That year, he appeared in 8 postseason games, where he allowed 0 runs in all but one of those games. In the middle of his incredible 2009 postseason, sports writer Steve Bishop dubbed him the Angels' hidden postseason hero and advocated for LA to re-sign him. Oliver wouldn't return to the Angels though, as he would spend 2 more years with the Rangers, then 2 with the Toronto Blue Jays, before retiring at the end of the 2013 season. It was with Texas where he appeared in 2 World Series, even picking up the win in Game 5 of the 2011 Fall Classic. In his last MLB appearance in the final game of the 2013 season, he pitched a perfect inning, striking out the last batter he ever faced in Evan Longoria before walking off to a standing ovation. During his tenure from 2006 to 2013, Oliver threw over 500 innings in over 450 games. He had an ERA of 2.95, adjusted ERA of 149, a whip of 1.148, struck out 7.5 batters per 9 innings, and earned 10.9 WAR. Among all relievers in MLB with a minimum 400 innings during that span, he's in the top 15, if not top 10, in most categories. It's truly unbelievable to comprehend what Darren Oliver accomplished. Someone who was out of baseball and couldn't land a job as a starter extended his career an additional 8 years by transforming into one of the best relief pitchers. He probably could have kept going as well, but stated he wanted to retire to spend more time with family. We may never see this level of dominance from someone at that age in those circumstances ever again. One of the greatest pitching spans by anyone at age 35 and older, and one of the greatest career revivals in baseball history.